Hi, friends. I'm Lisa from Trails Edge Astrology, and I am here today, the day after our Venus star point in Leo, which is a new 1.5 year cycle between between Venus and the Sun, and an 8 year cycle until Venus and the Sun meet again in Leo. So, turning point. And we also have a beautiful new moon in Leo on Wednesday. And so I thought it would be fun to take a little time and do some tarot to help us think about how to live into this energy. This is really a time where we can think about authenticity and self-love and how we really live into our heart centers. So that's my plan, is to go through by rising sign, give you your rising sign. I'll tell you what house this is hitting in, so what area of life this transition is happening in, and then we'll pull some cards. So sound good? I will also try and put timestamps in the notes so that you can skip ahead and just listen to your sign if you want to, or you can listen to all of them. So let's get started. So first up, we typically start with Aries. So let's start with Aries. So we are going to start with the Aries rising. So people with Aries rising, this Leo new moon and Leo Venus star point are happening in your 5th house. And the 5th house is about creativity and individuality and fun and sometimes romance, that kind of thing, sometimes kids. So think about how it's showing up in your life and where you're being asked to do something new. We are going to read with the Wandering Star Tarot. Wandering Star Tarot by Kat Pierce, sorry, which I think is just a fun and lovely deck for this energy. And I'm going to pull 4 cards for you. I'm going to pull, right. So again, this is Aries. So our Aries friends. All right. So for our Aries friends, first up is your opportunities. And we got the Ace of Wands. Hard to get that to focus. The Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is about new beginnings, which is appropriate, being that this is the beginning of a new cycle. Wands is about passion and creativity, so this really fits with the 5th house kind of energy. So new opportunities for passion, creativity, new beginnings. What are you starting? What is being seeded? Might not come to fruition for a while, but what's being seeded right now? So your challenges, interestingly, is the Sun, and the Sun is about abundance and energy and light and that kind of thing. So I'm thinking that as an opportunity, this could go either way for the Aries rising out there. So Aries, so this might be that you have too many new ideas. Like there's the fire's burning really, really hot. And so trying to calm it down and decide where to focus and how to focus and not take on too much might be an issue. Another issue with the Sun sometimes is that it's a really comfortable place. It's warm, it's bright, things are good. And so maybe there's a challenge with kind of like getting off the starting block. So I could see it going either way with getting these new ideas off the ground. So your to-do list, what you need to do with this is justice. And justice is about, as you can see, balance and equality and kind of finding that sweet spot. So that goes in with the Sun. Maybe you're burning really bright, maybe you've got lots of ideas. Your to-do list is really to find that balance and find the sweet spot and find the place where you can actually make some progress on these activities. And the final guidance from the universe is the 4 of Swords. And the 4 of Swords is about giving yourself a little time to rest and recover. So, so maybe this new passion project, this new idea and thing coming up for you right now is burning really bright, lots of ideas, and there might be some need to sit back and let it kind of grow for a little while. Maybe not jump in with both feet all at once. Maybe there's some healing that needs yet to be done, which makes sense with the astrology. We are in a Venus retrograde period for a couple more weeks. Then we go into a Mercury retrograde period. So we've got a while through at least mid-September, and I'm thinking beginning of October before we're really ready to go again. So Aries rising, you've got some new ideas coming your way, but you might need to rest for a little bit. You might need to think it through, collect your ideas before you go. So Aries, I hope that is helpful. As with any reading, take what works and leave the rest. All right, next up we will talk to our Taurus friends about the energy for them. With Taurus rising, this energy, I'm getting cards thrown out of me. This energy is in your 4th house, which is about parents or about your roots or ancestors or home. Real estate is sometimes related to the 4th house. So any of those kinds of things down at like the base of your chart. One of my teachers calls this area, it's called the I see, the Enum Cheli, but one of my teachers calls it the I don't see. So sometimes it's an area where you don't see, it's just deep down within you. It's that grounding energy taking you into the earth. So if you are a Taurus rising, that's where this energy is hitting in your life. And here are what the cards are telling us. All right, for your opportunity, we have got the High Priestess. And I'm trying to get the words to show up on the camera so you can read them. So the High Priestess is about dreams and wisdom, and it's a quiet energy. It's often I associate it with the moon, so it's not always like loud and proud, but it's very receptive and very very guided by spirit. So maybe there's an opportunity in this time to sit and reflect and listen to what's going on, or listen to what your heart is saying. Listen to those tiny voices and really ground and be present. So in terms of challenges, we've got the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups can kind of be the knight in shining armor, if you will. Can be kind of that knights are always about movement and action, and this is a really deeply feeling just a deep feeling movement, if you're getting in touch with your emotions, or somebody coming in and kind of sweeping you off your feet. So I would say in this, that you have the opportunity to be receptive and to get some real intuitive insights, but there might be either some emotions or some movement or energy that is trying to pull you off, or kind of pulling you off your center. So that could be a challenge in this. Your to-do list is the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is all about being somebody who lives into your passion and creativity, who doesn't get swayed by, people coming along, by a Knight of Cups coming along and trying to sweep you off your feet. Like somebody who's really like, I know who I am, I know what I want, I know what my heart is saying, and I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that forward, and I'm going to live in that space, no matter what other people think about it or say about it. This is me. So I think that's really lovely and exciting. Now, guidance from the universe. We got our Justice card again. This seems to be, we'll see if this is a theme. So for Taurus rising, your guidance from the universe is again about balance and about making sure you're weighing your options, and that you are and that you're really thinking through what steps you take next, and what is an appropriate pace and course of action. And again, we're in this retrograde period through October. We're in the retrograde period, I think, through September 15th, and then through beginning of October will really get us going again. So, so I think this is a really receptive time. There might be some energy trying to kind of pull you off course with emotions or feelings or those kinds of things. But sitting in your heart center is super important, and finding that balance, finding out what works best for you is what's on the table right now for anybody with a Taurus rising. All right, now let's look at Gemini rising. So Gemini rising, goodness. Gemini rising, we have this energy in the third house. And the third house is traditionally talked about as communications or siblings or neighbors or kind of that. I talk about early education. I think about it like local learning. This is also the house of the goddess, so it is. It's a house where we kind of bring the sacred down to earth, by my way of thinking of it. So you tell me where this is showing up for you, but in any of those kinds of areas, you will see it. Gemini risings. One more card. Let's take this one. Okay. So your opportunity is the Six of Swords. Get it to sort of focus. And the Six of Swords, you can see from the words on the card, is explore, discover, and moving on. So this is about getting out of your rut, doing something different, moving into a new time and space. And your challenges, though, is the Hermit. So I wonder if in this, if you've got some push to move on, but maybe there's some desire to just kind of sit back and be by yourself and not take a step, not take the step out into the unknown, not, maybe there's an opportunity out there. It looks great, but boy, it's really comfortable here, or I'm a little scared. I just don't know. I don't know what this will look like. So there might be some challenges there. It could also be some challenges, just like is there some inner narrative that you need to work on? Venus retrogrades are a great time, especially in Leo, to really listen to our heart and listen to the longing of our heart and figure out what that self-care path is. And so is there some challenge diving into that, or really taking care of yourself in a way that you need to? Your to-do list is the Three of Wands. So this to-do list is telling you to not necessarily lean into the Hermit, but lean into the adventure and the moving, the going on. So the Three of Wands is all about adventure and journeys and just like letting the world take you where you want to go, where it wants to take you, where you're supposed to go. So I'm very much seeing some action in this, and some resistance in maybe, what I'm doing is pretty comfortable, or that would require me to step out and be a little uncomfortable or do something I'm not sure how to do. But these cards are telling us that it's time. Let's think about it. Let's go. And then your guidance from the universe is this beautiful Six of Wands, which is about triumph and victory, and like, you got this. This is, the ball's in your court. You've got this. You can go. So Gemini risings, I'm really seeing whatever that little voice in your heart is, listen to it, act on it. Might be scary, might bring up some feelings of insecurity, but you can do it. It's time. All right. Now we are on to Cancer risings, and those with Cancer rising, this is happening in your second house, which is about resources and money, and your values and self-worth. all those kinds of things. And so right now, that's the sort of space you're working in. And let's see what the cards have to say for you, my Cancer rising friends. Get a couple more. One more. All right. All right. So for your opportunity, we got the Three of Pentacles. And this is the talent card. So Cancer risings, you have, some opportunity, some expertise, some talent, something that you are being called to share with the world right now. And maybe because this is happening in your house of your values and your money, maybe this is stepping outside of what you've typically done. Maybe it's just stepping into something you're good at and you haven't let yourself go towards. So this card is saying there's an opportunity to really take that step. Pentacles are always about the material world. So this is about like doing something in the material world, building something, using it can be crafts, it can be creativity. Sometimes with threes, there's also some community involved in it. So yeah, what's kind of like, what are you good at that maybe you haven't been leaning into, that this is an opportunity, or this is your heart's saying it's time for me to do that. So your challenges are the sun. We saw this with Aries, I think. So sometimes the sun can be either like this abundance, like there's so many ideas, or it's so big. So maybe this Three of Pentacles, maybe the opportunities are just flying in and you're like, wow, this is a lot. This is, how do I cope with all this? How do I get it all pulled together? And on the other hand, sometimes the challenge can be that, wow, I'm really comfortable where I am. I have a lot of abundance. I have everything I need. And to step into this new opportunity, to step into this talent that I have, is going to require me to maybe change the way I think about my abundance and how that works for me. So Cancer rising, think about that. What's your heart calling you to do? What are the gifts you have that maybe you haven't been sharing? And then what scares you about that? Is it that it's going to be too much? Or is it going to be that you're going to have to maybe leave something behind that feels comfortable? All right, your to-do list is the Three of Swords. And this is about heartbreak. And so I'm wondering if in this journey, if moving into this talent for Cancer risings, you're going to have to either give up something that you're not quite sure about giving up, or if you're going to have to maybe disappoint somebody who liked things the way they were before you were stepping into this talent. So there's some grief aspect to this, and this reading is telling you to like lean into that. You're a Cancer rising, so empathy is not a problem. And I'm marking it off so that I remember which one I'm on. Okay, so Cancer risings, that feeling things deeply is totally within your DNA, and then this is telling you new opportunity, and feel that there might be some loss. You might have to walk away from something in order to go to this new thing, this new talent, this passion, this place where you're being called to. And then the guidance from the universe is the Six of Wands again. And the Six of Wands is about triumph. Like you're going to be successful. If you lean into this new talent, into this new area of your life, into this thing you're being called to do, you kind of get out of your comfort zone. You might have some hard conversations. Like, this is going to be successful for you. So Cancer risings, that's where this is happening. In your second house, I would guess there's going to be some money involved, or money, a change of money, change of values, change of resources involved in that. All right, let's move on to Leo rising. So people with Leo rising, this energy has all been hitting in your first house. And this is your identity, your sense of self, your body sometimes your physical health, any of those kinds of areas. So Leo risings, this is really hitting kind of dead center and probably asking you to think about how you show up in the world and who you really want to be. All right, so the opportunity for Leo risings is the 10 of Wands. So this is interesting because this is often the card of the overburdened. So this is an interesting opportunity card. It because it can be overload. So maybe the opportunity for those of you who are Leo rising is like, this is just a lot, and there are maybe too many things coming and too many changes being asked of yourself, and it's just really hitting in ground zero, like. And so the opportunity, I mean, she's as you can see, like, tied up, fire below her, not good. So is the opportunity, does it feel like too much? Or where is the overload, and how do you, oh, interesting. I kind of see where we're going with this. Okay, so the overload, overburdened, doing too much. So there's an opportunity here for you to take on more than maybe you need to, Leo risings. All right, your challenges, and remember that these cards are archetypal and not necessarily good or bad, or what we think of maybe in Judeo-Christian culture. So your challenge is the devil. And so the devil is about kind of obsessing on things. So I wonder if, in this feeling overburdened and feeling like you are, like, there's just a lot going on, maybe there's some obsession, maybe there's something that needs to be let go of or not held on to so tightly, because the challenge for you is not that, is kind of releasing that death grip, like let it go. Yes, it's a lot right now, there's a lot happening, a lot of potential change, and holding on to what is might not be serving you. There might be a challenge in letting go, or moving out of that space and into a space where you cannot feel so overburdened. All right, your to-do list. On your to-do list, it is to be the Fool. And the Fool is about taking the next step. Like, you don't know where the path is going, but there's all the potential in the world. All the potential in the world. And what the universe is asking you to do right now is just take the first step. Just see where this is going. Don't get caught up in that overburden. Don't get caught up in holding everything in and trying to keep it the way it is. Just see what happens. Open the door, walk through, see where you end up. So that's exciting. And then the 8 of Cups is the message from the universe. And the 8 of Cups is all about change and shifts. Those are I think the keywords on this card. But it's about, even though this is good, what we're doing is good, walking away, going towards something else. Maybe something that feels less overburdening, less like there's less responsibility, or feels less constricted. So what I'm getting is that for Leo risings, there might be a lot, you might be holding a lot right now that doesn't necessarily feel good. And this Leo energy with the Venus retrograde and the new moon are just asking you to maybe just let some of that go. Maybe you don't need to hold that responsibility. Maybe that's not really where your heart is. So yeah, just enjoy the adventure to the extent that you are able. See how you can see where this full card takes you. Where's that going to take you? What? See, she's stepping off a cliff into the unknown. So that's your adventure for this time, Leo risings. All right, now we're on to Virgo risings. And for Virgo risings, this energy is happening in the 12th house. And the 12th house is about our cosmic consciousness. It can be about our spirituality. 12th house can also possibly be about things like confinement, or sometimes health issues, or occasionally can be hidden enemies. 12th house is that space right after dawn when we can't necessarily see, but things all blend together. All right. So let's see, for those of you who are Virgo risings, what this is bringing into your life, what this Venus retrograde in Leo and Moon in Leo are bringing forward. All right, so for opportunities, I get strength. So for Virgo risings, this is an opportunity for you to have courage and for you to with a heart-centered focus, really do something that might be brave. This card is telling you you're strong enough. You are able to take that step and to like you have the power, and so it's inviting you to like step into that courageous new thing, that new chapter, that new whatever it is. And being in the 12th house, it might be something that kind of breaks down silos or asks you to do something where you can't really see clearly, or you're not sure how it's going to play out, but there's a strength there. Your challenge card is going to be the Two of Swords, and the Two of Swords is about decisions, but as you can see, she's got a blindfold on, so she can't quite see, which is a very 12th house kind of placement. It can either be because something like it's foggy, you can't see, you're not sure, or it can be because you're choosing not to see. And I'm wondering if for Virgo risings, with all this energy in the 12th house, if you're not feeling like a little out of control and a little like, I can't see the path here, I don't know where I'm going, and that what this reading is saying is you're strong enough. Is whatever's going on, whatever is muddy and feels really uncomfortable and uncertain, you're strong enough to handle it. And the challenge is that you can't see. And you just have to understand that there's not going to be the clarity that you're looking for, that you right now just need to take the next step. Just take the next step. And we're in this retrograde period for a while yet. Venus is retrograde through September 3rd. Mercury goes retrograde at the end of August through the middle of August. So we have several weeks before this is really going to start moving forward again, or before we're going to have some real clarity on this. So I think this reading is reassuring. It's just saying, hey, you are strong enough. You can do this. And yeah, I recognize it's hard. And I recognize that you can't see right now, and you're not supposed to. And this is really an invitation for trust. And with that, your to-do list is the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is about waiting, and is about that pause, and is about being like, okay, I'm kind of stuck. I kind of can't see where I'm going. But this is a time to just surrender to it. So Virgo risings, that's probably not the easiest thing you've ever done. And the universe is asking you right now to just relax into this energy, relax into this space where you might not know where you're going or what you're doing, and just surrender to whatever is coming. And again, take the next step when it's obvious. You might go down a dead end road. That's okay right now. You can't see, and you're not supposed to. The things you're learning are more soul level contracts, and that it's not necessarily something you can analyze your way out of. This is kind of a journey of faith. All right, and the guidance from the universe, if you can lean into this, if you can be in this energy and be in this space where things are not clear and probably not very comfortable, the reward for this surrender and for going through this period is really magic and fun and love. The Page of Cups is all about intuition, learning to feel things in a different way. Pages can also be about good news. So Page of Cups might be bringing you, the one of the keywords on here is love. Another one is fun. So right now, it might be a little hard, Virgo risings. It might feel like a lot. This reading is just saying, yeah, it feels like a lot, and your soul is learning something it needs to learn. And if you can surrender and relax into it, there's some really beautiful stuff coming. And it'll probably be October before we see it, but coming your way. All right, next up is our Libra rising reading. For Libra risings, this energy is happening in the 11th house, and the 11th house is the house of community and friends. It's the house of our hopes and dreams. So coming, so any of those kinds of things. Sometimes groups that we join for a larger purpose. Getting cards all over the place. All right. So for our Libra rising group, your opportunity is the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is somebody who lives in a logical and rational space, who is very ethical, and who is really able to kind of assess a situation, not necessarily let emotions get involved, but really look at a situation and read it objectively. So your opportunity maybe is to sit in a space where you're not getting pulled every direction. You're not one of the things with people who are Libra rising is frequently they can see all sides of things, and that's beautiful, and sometimes makes it hard to make a decision. The Queen of Swords does not have a hard time making a decision. She can lay out the facts and say, yes, there's merit in all of these, and this is the best choice. So I'm wondering if you have an opportunity where you can kind of see things clearly in a way maybe you haven't been able to before. Your challenges is the 10 of Pentacles. And so the 10 of Pentacles is about legacy. And it's about having built something for a long time and, having the status and having this is what I've done. It's also the end of a journey. So the challenge might be releasing something that you have built or lived in for a long time, or that feels very secure and stable. So there might be some, something that's coming into your heart that's saying, logically, this might be the way to go, but I've got all this over here. And so there might be a challenge in balancing that, like what is the logic saying versus what is the You know, what's making you feel stable? You know, this is almost making me feel like, you know, sometimes like our brain knows we should do something else, but we have these patterns, you know, like I always did it this way, and it doesn't necessarily feel good, um, but this is what I do. So my thought is like a comfort food. Sometimes comfort food is like, you know, this is the thing I ate growing up, and it makes me feel secure and good. Or I feel like it does, but when I put it in my body is not necessarily as excited about it as it used to be. And so, you know, is there something like that? And it wouldn't have to be related to food. It could be, you know, maybe it, you know, I always, when I'm stressed, I always sit on the couch and watch TV at night rather than doing, you know, doing the work that I need to do to get to where I need to go or where I want to go. And so maybe this is kind of saying, you know, like this is a chance to revise or reevaluate those opportunities where you know you want to go somewhere else, your heart is calling you to go somewhere else, you're like, the logic is saying go somewhere else, and yet you're like, but I've always done it this way, but this is comfortable, and that's a little scary. And so I think that the universe is maybe asking you, Libra risings, to take that step into the unknown and to think about what could be different and what you have to change, what comfortable places you have that you would have to change in order to make that happen. All right. What is your to-do list? Your to-do list is the 7 of Cups. And the 7 of Cups is really about the choices you have made in the past beginning to pay off. So this is a nice to-do list card. So you have maybe set the stage. Maybe you've come right up to the point where you're ready to take the next logical step, and that you're having this little tug of war, like, but this is comfortable, but I could take the next step. So this 7 of Cups is telling you, let's take the next step. Let's make the choice. Let's listen to our heart, listen to our instincts, and see what happens. So yeah, so I think this is saying, like, you know the right thing to do, and it's a little uncomfortable, but you know where you're going. And the universe is supporting that. And then your guidance from the universe is the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is an intuitive, a leader who can really be compassionate and fair, and really just be a heart-centered leader. That's exactly what it is. To step into that heart-centered leadership, which is exactly what Venus retrograde in Leo is asking us to do. Step into our heart-centered leadership, listen to our heart, process, and move forward. So I think if you're able to take the next logical step, letting go of anything you need to let go of, or changing habits that you need to change habits for, that a world opens that will make you very, very happy, very satisfied, and really feeling like you are living in that heart-centered leadership that that, you know, as a Libra rising, you're really uniquely capable of doing. Libra risings are Venus ruled, and Venus, you know, is about that beautiful balance. So exciting times. All right, and now we are moving into our Scorpio rising friends. So if you are a Scorpio rising, this energy is hitting in your 10th house, and your 10th house is traditionally thought of as your career, or how you show up in your public life. So let's see what the cards say for those with Scorpio risings, for whom they are being asked to rethink career. All right. All right. Scorpio risings. Your opportunity is the Four of Swords. And so this is really interesting in a retrograde, because retrogrades are times when we don't push forward. And we've got the Leo retrograde and we've got Mercury retrograde coming right behind it. So we've got this long stretch of space where we're not necessarily being asked to push. And so this card is telling you that the opportunity right now is not to necessarily feel like you have to be moving forward in your career. Right now is a time, like if things haven't been going as well as you'd like, or things are, feeling, it just doesn't feel great. Something has happened in the past, perhaps, that has kind of left a bad taste in your mouth. This summer, through at least mid-September, beginning of October, is just a time to let yourself rest and heal from your wounds, and emerge stronger in that. The challenge in this is the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is about intuition and is about wisdom, but it's from a receptive place. So what I think this is saying is you have an opportunity to rest and heal, but you are going to be your Scorpio risings are planners. Like you feel things deeply and you want everything laid out so that you know what's going to happen. So I feel like it's saying you need to heal. There's something you need to heal from, and it might be challenging to listen to that inner wisdom, to maybe not do something you've always done or something you feel like you should do, or maybe not take care of people in the same way, or any of those kinds of things related to your career, but rather just listen. There might be some challenge. You might not want to just be receptive during this time. That might feel uncomfortable, but that's really what you're being asked to do. Slow down and think. It's not a time to necessarily take a leap, take a move. Your to-do list is the Knight of Cups, and this is a sometimes called the Knight in Shining Armor card, and so what I'm feeling like is give yourself the chance to do something really pleasurable, really enjoyable, really this isn't practical, but this is the thing my heart is calling me to do. Whether it's a trip somewhere, or whether it's, a spa day, or whatever it is that is just this is a little decadent, but I need it to heal my heart so that when this retrograde ends, I'm ready to really fully move forward. So so Knight of Cups is I think suggesting that you just do something that feeds your heart. Do something passionate. Do something a little crazy, maybe even. Just a little outside your norm, but that really can promote your inner healing. And then the guidance from the universe is the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is somebody who really lives her passion and her creativity, who really just lives in that energy, and doesn't necessarily worry if somebody else doesn't see what that passion is, or doesn't understand why it is that this is the thing to do. So the Queen of Wands can just be secure and just live her passion, live out whatever it is she desires. So Scorpio risings, I'm by this reading, I'm guessing something has happened in your work life that needs some revision right now, that has caused some angst in some way, and you need to use this retrograde for what it's worth, to rest and reflect and reevaluate and refresh. Do some things that make you feel good and will help you heal and help you kind of be ready to step into this next stage, this passion. So whatever it is, whatever that heart fire is that is calling you, so that you can step in and be who you're meant to be. All right, now next up we have Sagittarius rising. And for Sagittarius risings, this energy has been acting in your 9th house, which can be, foreign travel, journeys. It can be something we thought of as the abstract mind. So whereas the 3rd house is more concrete, bringing the sacred into every day, the 9th house is bringing every day up into the sacred level, or moving energy kind of to higher levels of thought. So Sagittarius risings in the 9th house, this is education, this is learning new things, exploring, just taking it, it's a revision of maybe it's a pause on those kinds of things in your life, that adventure, that learning, any of that kind of stuff. All right, so the cards are saying your opportunity is the 8 of Cups. So there's the opportunity to change something, to change or shift, or to walk away from a thing that has been good. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it, but walk away from that thing and into a new adventure, which in the 9th house seems, that's the kind of energy that that I would expect to be coming for you. And some opportunity, maybe because we're in the retrograde and we're not necessarily ready to move forward right now, but just exploring I've always done this, but what if I do it this way? What if I take this course? What will that lead to? Or what if I take this trip? Or what if I get to know this person who's different than me? What does that look like, or how does that feel? Then the challenge is the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups is about living into our intuition, and about fun and magic, and just learning or news related to that. So I'm wondering if the challenge is that as a Sagittarius rising, you are equipped to go on adventures, and equipped to do kind of some more wild things than maybe some of the other rising signs might do. And so maybe there's this opportunity, and maybe you're seeing it, and maybe the challenge is not going too fast, but to kind of balance out the opportunity with some caution and some thought and some recognition that when we start things during retrogrades, sometimes we end up having to backtrack, or we have to revise. So it's definitely worth some slowing down and some thought. Your to-do list is interesting. We got the Devil, and again, remember that in tarot cards, these are archetypes, and so don't label any undue cultural baggage onto this. The Devil in this instance is really asking you to do what Leo retrograde is asking you to do as well. Look inside, look at yourself, hold on to what you find dear, maybe do some shadow work, maybe think about, if I'm gonna go on this new adventure, if I'm gonna take this next step, what baggage do I need to work out? What do I need to clear in my heart, or in my home, or in my space, or in any of those things? What do I need to clear? What do I need to I'm going to change this a little bit. What do I need to allow myself the time to focus on? Sagittarius is a fire sign, and it tends to move fast. And I wonder if this Devil card is not saying, just your to-do list is to take it slow right now, and to feel in and to think about, what do I really want to do? How is this related to me? And how is this related to my soul's journey? And what work do I need to do to get to this place I want to go? And to be a little more slow and methodical about it. And then the message from the universe, and again, remember, we're looking at archetypes, no cultural baggage. We got the Death card. And the Death card is all about transformation. It's all about new beginnings. So in this moving into whatever the next step of the journey is, there's some big transformation going on for you, maybe in the way you think about things, or maybe in the way that you are approaching life. But there's some you're doing some heavy work right now during this retrograde. Definitely give yourself some grace, give yourself some space and time. Something's really changing in you. You are likely, we're in the retrograde period for the next, through mid-September, early October. By the time it's all said and done. But this is really the beginning of an 8-year cycle with the Venus Sun conjunction in Leo. So this isn't necessarily something that's going to be like done quickly, but I'm sensing that there's a new adventure out there, and there's some excitement, maybe some desire to go a little faster than is prudent. But yeah, take the time, explore, and see what comes. Sagittarius risings, I'm excited to see how this all plays out for you, because those are exciting cards. All right, Capricorn risings. For Capricorn risings, this energy is happening in your 8th house. So it is probably relating to revising or rethinking or reviewing contracts you have with other people, psychology, metaphysics. This is kind of, the 8th house is kind of a mysterious house, but related to other people's resources and how you are connecting with them. So Capricorn risings, we have, all right, so what is the opportunity? And this is an interesting opportunity. 9 of Wands, or I'm sorry, 9 of Swords. And 9 of Swords is really about kind of anxiety and nightmares and worry. And so I wonder if this opportunity, I think this is the way the oracle has spoken for you. This opportunity is about, like, you can go down that path of over worrying and overthinking and over, just like, there's an opportunity here to get yourself in kind of an unhealthy place with your thoughts and ideas, kind of getting stuck in your head. So I think this is cautioning against getting too stuck in your head and catastrophizing and kind of going down, taking yourself too seriously, taking everything too seriously. There's some opportunity to do this during this Leo retrograde. The challenge is the 6 of Cups, and the 6 of Cups is about nostalgia and like, wow, wasn't it great when yada 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 was happening? And maybe it was, and maybe it wasn't, but it's about kind of like making yourself, sort of the like, everything in the past was glorious. My childhood was glorious, or 2 years ago it was glorious, or whatever. It's like it's focusing on that energy. And so as you're worrying, I wonder if you're not like thinking, well, if we could just go back to the way it was, if we could just not be doing whatever it is we're doing right now, as we're trying to sort out how we are, sharing resources or sharing contracts with other people. yeah, there's some energy in there, some angsty energy, I think. And the challenge is going to be not thinking that the past was perfect and we need to go back there, but maybe letting go of that and maybe moving into a different way of exploring this. And, with that, your to-do list is the 7 of Cups. And, the keywords on this are choice, instinct, passion, and extremes. So, with the 7 of Cups, what are your choices? And maybe, thinking about if you're feeling anxious, letting yourself feel those feelings, letting yourself think through how to make choices that don't necessarily try and get you back to the way things were, that may have worked for you, but may not have worked for the person you're with, or the person you're negotiating with at the moment. But what are the next steps? What are some choices you can make that might reflect better, might take you to where you want to go? And then I love this. The message from the universe is the Ace of Pentacles. So if you can kind of release this worry, if you can release this, the past was perfect, and if only I could get it to work that way. Really think about your choices, think about how you feel about your choices, be intuitive with your choices. The Ace of Pentacles is about new beginnings, and it's not just like any new beginnings. It could be a new job, it could be a new something physical in the tangible world. It's the potential for a new career opportunity, or more money, or more of whatever it is that kind of makes your life feel stable and in control. So so you're probably fretting right now. This energy has been fraught with, because it's hard to stand still, quite honestly. Venus retrogrades are hard. We're asked to turn inward and to not rely on other people to give us external validation, have to figure all this out for ourselves. And this is saying, yeah, that's hard. And you might be overthinking it. You might get yourself in a space where you just, you're worrying a lot. And if you can let that go, and if you can think through, okay, it didn't work this way in the past, how can it work in the future? I think there's a lot of potential for you to kind of reach some of those really practical, useful goals, the places you're trying to go as a Capricorn rising. All right, I hope that's helpful. We are on to Aquarius rising now. So Aquarius rising, this is happening in your 7th house. And so in your 7th house, cards everywhere. In your 7th house, we have relationships. So your committed relationships. So could be marriage, or romantic partnerships. It could be business partnerships. It could be good friends. Any of those kinds of spaces. Those spaces where you are really connected to another person. So that's all being up for revision and rethinking and reevaluating. So opportunities. We've got some adventure. The 3 of Wands is about journeys, is about action and luck, and like where do you want to go? What do you want to do? There's some implication of movement. So there's some desire or opportunity to do something new or to move on for Aquarius risings. And this is interesting because Pluto is dancing between Capricorn and Aquarius. So people with Aquarius rising will have at some point over the next 20 years. So this is a long cycle. Some definite opportunity for revision and redoing. But right now, this is saying, the energy right now is asking you to look at your heart, and what are the opportunities that, where's the journey you want to go on? It doesn't need to be a physical journey. It could be a mental journey, an emotional journey, but what's that journey? What really is calling you? Where is your passion leading? Where is your creativity moving you? So Aquarius risings, that's an opportunity. There's something there pulling forward, and there's a launch point. And then your challenges are the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands, one of the keywords is challenges. So the Seven of Wands is about having the courage to move forward. That's how I'm thinking of it. Like there may be this opportunity, and yet there might be some setbacks, or there might be some blockages that are not letting you just leap. And that could be because we're in this retrograde period and it's not time yet. So maybe it's holding you back a little bit so that you don't go forward too fast, so that you have really time to really think this all through. Or it could just be you got to have some hard conversations, like in your relationships, in order to go on this next adventure, in order to really like step in and find your passion and creativity. You have to, your relationship is going to need to change in some way. And that's a challenge in all of this, that conversation or that restructuring might be a little difficult, and you might have to, that might be the rub right now. That might be the thing that you're going through during this retrograde period, is just that, like, how do I make sure that I'm secure and supportive of my relationship, but that I have the opportunity to do this thing that I really want to do and I'm really being called to do. Your to-do list is the star. And this is the wish card. Like, make a wish on a star. Think big. Have faith. So your to-do list is really to like the relationship's going to work itself out. Whatever that piece is that feels like it's holding you back, don't let it make you smaller right now. I'm not saying like don't hurt people, don't step on people, don't like do horrible things to the people you love. But don't give up on this dream. There's a dream here. There's some desire to do something amazing and passionate, and something that's really going to fill your heart, which is what we want with Leo retrograde, or with Venus and Leo, with all of this passionate energy. And this is saying, like, don't lose sight of that. There's going to be some negotiation with relationships and before you can launch. And that's what this time is really meant to do. Figure out those, have those negotiations, have those tough conversations, so that you're ready. And if you do that, the universe is saying the Queen of Pentacles is your reward. And the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is loving and nurturing and, what are the words? Loyal, charming. But Pentacles are about material success. So the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who can like nurture a garden and have it bloom, or that. So it's that kind of energy. So if you like, don't lose sight of this passion, whatever it is that's brewing in you, and that you might be having this conflict or having to work on this hard thing in your committed relationships about. If you can work through it, if you can really lean in with your heart, because this is all about being heart-centered and caring for yourself, but also caring for others. Like, there's some real tangible material rewards in this. And it could be money, it could be stability, it could be satisfaction, it could be, just a bountiful harvest of whatever it is that you're choosing to grow. So, Aquarius rising, I look forward to hearing how this goes for you. And then our final sign, last but not least, and Pisces, I'm sure you get really tired of being the last. So our Pisces rising folks, this is happening in your 6th house. And your 6th house is about your daily routines, and could be about your health routines. So it could be about any of those things. It's about work and service, and how you kind of show up in those spaces. So let's see what the cards have for you. All right. Interesting. So for you, Pisces rising, the opportunity is the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune goes round and around. So sometimes we're at the top, sometimes we're at the bottom, but it's constantly moving. And so you are somewhere in this space where things are shifting. And there is an opportunity to restructure or revise or move your in daily habits or in health or in the way you serve. There's some movement happening right now that has kind of a destined quality to it. So it's you have the opportunity to take the next step, maybe on your soul's journey during this time. Rethinking like how you show up for yourself, maybe day in and day out, and how it just came to my mind. I've been doing this chakra course with Tom Jacobs, who is an evolutionary astrologer, and he talks about the solar plexus chakra, and he suggests that we make all decisions, or we invite ourselves to make all decisions from the perspective of somebody who loves and respects themselves. And I'm not saying, Pisces rising, that you don't love and respect yourself. I'm positive you do. But what if in your day-to-day decisions and the things you do day in and day out, what you eat, when you go to bed, if you exercise, how much you give to other people versus how much you save for yourself. What if you stop and evaluate every decision through the lens of, remember, I love and respect myself. What does somebody who loves and respects themselves do in this situation? So maybe that's what that Wheel of Fortune card is asking you to do, or asking you to kind of reevaluate. You have the opportunity to take this step where you rethink and relook at how you show up in the world through that lens of self-guidance. So this is an interesting card. This is a card unique to this deck, and I have never pulled it before, actually. So your challenges are the Creator, and it says no below it. So I'm going to grab the book and see if I can find this really quickly. If I can't, we'll just do it intuitively, but the Creator. Let's see. It signifies that there is a powerful energy brewing in the atmosphere around you. It may feel overwhelming and tinged with undertones of darkness. Indeed, you may feel an urge to run and find shelter from this storm, but trust that you are ready to transmute this force into something that will propel you forward on your path. So I am guessing that you have a path, that there's some karmic wheel turning, something that's asking you, what would I do? Remembering that I love and respect myself, and that you're getting a no. You're getting something that feels blocked. And you're being asked to figure out how to not let the no stop you, or how to not let that thing that makes you feel like you can't go forward stop you from this journey. So the 5 of Pentacles is your to-do list. And that's kind of interesting because the 5 of Pentacles is about loss and hardship. And so I'm wondering if maybe what the universe is asking you to do is do something to release something that you have been holding on to, or that you feel like you can't live without, and kind of live in that space of emptiness for a little while, and see what that feels like. Because one of the things with the Five of Pentacles is that while this person feels poverty and feels like there's not enough abundance there and feels like it's emptiness, there's always a beautiful window or something behind the person that indicates that they're not actually alone. So there is often some something in being able or being willing to let go of something you think you can't live without that allows you to see what resources you really have. So I think what this is asking you to do is, on this karmic journey, maybe whatever this no is, maybe whatever feels like it's blocking your path, maybe it's asking you to like release. Just there's I'm not sure if it's a Hindu principle. Maybe I shouldn't say it if I'm not positive, but I'm going to anyway. Anyway, it's called a paragraha, and it's about non-grasping, about opening your hands and just not gripping so tightly. So there's something about not holding on quite so tightly and letting go of something that you think you can't live without, or that you think you can't manage to get around. Just release. What does that look like? That's what the universe is asking you to do right now. And if you are able to do that, you get to the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups, aces are always beginnings. And the Ace of Cups is about new relationships. So maybe this is a relationship you need to let go of, or maybe it's this is in your 6th house. So maybe it's a relationship that is causing you to distort your daily habits or your health in a way that's not serving you. And maybe if you let go of whatever that is, and as I'm thinking about it, relationship, this could be something with a day job, it could be something with the way you're serving other people, just something to let go of. And you probably think you can't let go of it, you probably think like it's like you're stuck here, but if you can let go, I think there's a beautiful new beginning able to come. All right, I have come to the end. We've done readings for all of the signs. I hope this was really helpful. This was fun for me, and yeah, hopefully intuitive, and hopefully gives you some guidance in working with this energy, and remembering that retrogrades are hard, and rethinking and revising and redoing is not necessarily what culturally we're taught how to do. And so yeah, it's an adventure. And yeah, and I hope, as I say, I hope this has given you some guidance, and that you are in a good space to move forward. And of course, take what works, leave the rest, and tally forth. Enjoy the new moon. Rituals are important. Set yourself some thoughts and goals. See what's come into your heart space. All right. I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now.